Hi,
Hello. How are you, Lou?
good mate. I'm
You
good.
good? You
Yes,
good?
welcome to this session.
Yeah, this session, one of our last couple.
It is
We
one
were
of our.
going to end this series in a couple of weeks,
We are.
and we're going to take a break.
We are.
But we're coming back for the next series sometime.
We are. So send all your questions in.
Yes.
Anything you want to learn about, know about, what you feel
Yeah.
you'd like covered in more depths, and we will kick off the
We will keep
series
it
with
with
that, I would
those.
say.
Yes, we will. Yes, we will. So yes, in the next couple of weeks, we're going to take a break. We've
We
got
are.
other things to do. We've got life to do.
We do. We do. So we are the tarot dealers.
Yes, we are. And we have over 50 years experience between the two of us, talking tarot, teaching tarot, reading tarot, all things tarot,
All things tarot.
podcasting, writing a book.
You're so funny. Creating our own development. We've had a lot of fun in this
Yes.
journey, very, very much so.
Yes, so it's just come time for us to take a break. So
Yes, I
yeah,
think so.
yeah,
So we will still be doing our thing
we will be. So
and back with more
more
wonderful things.
exactly, more new
Absolutely.
and exciting subjects and whatever you want to know, just let us know. We'll
Absolutely.
cover all
I
that.
think you could stop us talking
I
about
don't think so.
tarot forever, Tren.
Because
Like,
we're always learning. Like you've seen us, you've heard us. The cards we use every day, and we're still
we're
seeing.
seeing shit that we didn't see before. So, yeah. And we like to uncomplicate things.
Yes, yes, because like you say, the tarot can be
Yes, very.
very complex. So we like to like uncomplicate it, make it simple, and it's for everybody. It's
Exactly.
just not for the elite. It's for everybody.
It's for
Everybody can.
everybody, and you can use it in so many different ways, which is a
Exactly.
beautiful segue into what we're about to
Yeah.
talk about. So, we're talking today about the power of meditating on your cards,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So, we think about meditation, right? Meditation is a space where we get to do some introspection and have a bit of a journey through our inner
Mm.
life
Yeah.
and feelings and emotions and our symbols that
Mm.
rise up in this journey. So we think about a tarot card, right, with all of the symbols and the journey that it represents, the part of the path that it's on,
Oh,
right? So you can use meditation to for a number of ways with the tarot, really. You can learn more about the specific card itself
mhm.
intuitively, or you could dive into the certain symbols maybe
Mhm.
that are highlighted to you, or you can ask yourself a series of different questions
Yes.
about the card and the energy. But basically, when we are meditating on the cards, it is about feeling into that card and its energy and what it represents specifically for you
Mm.
and what you're open to learning about what you don't know.
Exactly. It's what you
Right?
don't
It's
know.
what you don't know, right? Because in meditation, when you're sitting in that space and you're connected to, your soul for self or your higher self, whatever
Mm.
you want to call that, or the energy just simply being, and then the information comes to you, that's a pretty pure
Yes.
place to
Beautiful
get
place,
that
isn't
from.
it?
And it is a beautiful place to get
Yeah.
that from. And that's where you might start to develop your own connections
Yes.
specifically to the cards or your own meanings
Yes.
to the cards. Just because the book says this doesn't mean that's fucking it,
Yeah.
right? It's not necessarily the
No.
case. That's the basis of what somebody wrote about what the card was originally
Yeah.
intended for. But as life's gone on and energies change and situations and environments and all of that change, and we develop as a society, then so too does the meaning of the card.
Exactly. Yeah. It changes.
It does change. So it's good about like diving in and having a feel about that particular energy.
Yes.
Does that make
Yeah, it
sense?
does.
Yeah,
Yeah, because it's almost like we're putting ourselves in the card. We are the figure in the card sometimes in your
correct.
meditation.
Correct.
And so you have to feel what's going on.
If you're the figure in the card, like
Yeah.
let's look at the high priestess, right? Let's say you want to meditate on the high priestess energy, then you could become her and feel those the scroll that she
Yes.
holds,
Mm.
feel what it is what are those pomegranates that sit behind her? And I'm talking
Mm.
about the Rider-Waite deck.
Yeah,
What are those pomegranates that sit behind her actually trying
trying to
to
say.
say,
Yeah,
you know? How does she feel about the moon on her head? She's got the
yeah.
full moon and the crescent moons in that crown, right? How does
Mm,
she feel about that? What are
exactly.
they telling her? How does she connect to that? What's that all about, you
Mm,
know? Where does she feel her intuition in the body? Like there's a
exactly.
whole journey that
Yeah,
you can take and dive and learn so much about. Have
exactly.
you ever meditated with your
No, I
cards?
have not.
Have not.
So I'm
Wow.
quite fascinated by this now.
Yeah, yeah. So look at the symbols, right?
Mm,
And say just choose a card you want to meditate
yep.
on, stop, have a look at the symbols. What do you feel, see, and know?
No. Yep.
Right? Feel, see, and know. And
So
then
I'm just gonna cut the deck and we'll just have a play.
have a play. We're gonna have a play.
So just
So yeah,
okay, I've cut the deck at the Knight of Swords.
okay. So what do you feel?
I feel like looking at that, and because we're talking about meditating, but I feel the wind rushing.
Okay, so you feel the wind
Yeah.
rushing. What do you see?
I see my where I'm heading, my goal.
Okay,
Yeah.
and what do you know?
I know that I'm in a hurry.
She's in a hurry. Meditation is about slowing
Yeah. Slow
down.
it down. Slow
Slow
it
it
down.
down, right? So a question that you
Yeah.
would could pose about that
Yeah.
potentially is like, what do I need to know?
Yes.
Or what don't I yet know?
Yeah. What's yet to be revealed? Where am I heading?
Okay, so
Yeah.
Trent's question is where is she
Where
heading,
am I
right? So
heading?
in this sense, you would take that card, you would look at those things, you would slow your breath down. Always start with your breath.
Yeah.
I feel so
Yeah. Oh,
much easier,
you have to. Yeah.
Slow your breath down, close your eyes down, find the space,
Mhm.
feel yourself grounded, connected to earth. And when you feel ready, that's when you might pose those questions. And it's not about digging around in your mind to find an answer. It's just,
What you're
I'm
allowing.
putting this out and allowing
Allowing. Yeah.
symbols or feelings or
Mm.
whatever it is to come to you through that card and getting curious about what would it feel like if I was the Knight of Swords and I was on the horse? Would I in
Mm.
fact feel the
Feel
wind,
the wind.
as Tren had pointed out, and then getting into that as if it's real, as if it's
Yes.
happening now?
And it's like, why am I on the horse? Why am I making this journey? You know,
Yeah, what's the
what was the
purpose?
person?
What's the
Yeah.
purpose of the journey, right?
Yeah.
So, what do I need to see here,
Mm.
right? So, these kind of questions, and then just sitting back and being open to that coming through.
To whatever comes, isn't it? Yeah.
Absolutely. You might have a good look at the card and know, because you can see here that he's rushing past the trees, right? The wind is definitely blowing in his face and he's rushing past the trees. So in your mind, you could in fact see yourself on a horse rushing
Mm.
around like the Knight of Swords going
Yes.
past those trees
At speed.
at speed. I'm like, that's a hell of a pace. But yeah,
Yeah.
going past those and then sit back and see what comes up as a result of that. But it's very much just about connecting to all the symbols, all the elements in the card. What does it feel like to be that figure? What does it feel like if you were the horse, right? What would that be
Yeah, I
like?
wouldn't have thought of that, but
Yeah, if
yes.
you were the horse,
Yes.
what would that be like? Or if you were the clouds looking down and watching this rush by, are you as a cloud because it's windy getting moved and
Yeah.
shifted around in the air? Like, what is the message there specifically? So many things that you can just meditate on, which will help
Yeah.
you open your awareness to the deeper or the messages of the card that you were not yet aware of.
Exactly.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that
And then
does.
the bonus of this too is that when you've done meditating on certain cards, when those cards turn up in a reading, you may or may not feel the
Mm.
same things that you felt when you were meditating on, but you know what they mean
Yes,
because
exactly.
what that means to you. So then that allows you then to take your reading for whoever you're reading for down a little bit deeper because you're now saying, oh, and this, do you
Exactly.
feel
Yeah.
like, you're the one carrying all the weight being the
In
horse,
the horse.
and having to rush around? Do you feel like you're going against the grain with this weight on your back? Do you feel like you're being driven in an area that you don't necessarily want to head in? Like, totally different to being the rider on that who's going full charge, steam ahead, right?
Yeah,
He's like, go, go, go. The horse may not want to do that, right?
exactly. Has it been taken out of your control?
Has it been taken out of your
Yeah,
control, right? So when you can tap into the feelings of the cards like that, changes
yeah,
so
exactly.
much. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you get to understand the energies behind the pictures, right? And then you get to, when you know the energy, you then get to dive deeper into the
Into the, yeah.
readings, right?
And it's like Lou said, tap into it. I mean, if you are not comfortable meditating, tap, tap on the
Tap
card.
on the card,
Tap on the,
absolutely.
you're using your own body to get the answers. You're looking at it and you're, again, still feeling, but you're using your emotions to get a different answer. And you meditate or tap, you can do both. But you will still get those feelings of what more do I need to know? What do I need to release? If I'm feeling like I'm the horse, what do I need to release because I'm being held back or I'm being pushed somewhere? What do I need to release so I don't feel that feeling anymore? You
Mm.
know?
Yeah, what do I
So
need to bring into my awareness?
yeah,
And what is it that I am not yet aware of?
yeah.
What
And
don't
that,
I
yeah,
know?
exactly. And so that will come through your meditation or your tapping, you
Absolutely, it
know?
will, because those two modalities or those two ways of working with the cards will
Yeah,
actually release something for you and bring into your awareness what you were unaware of, right?
exactly.
So the meditation might allow you to see a little around the corner, maybe.
Yes.
It might just allow you to feel connected in
Mm.
that moment, you know, and then the tapping might add
Add to
the
the, yeah,
emotional release,
yes,
you know, or the give you the answer, drop the answer in, because
exactly.
tapping can do that
It
too,
does very
hey,
much. If you
you
talk,
know?
when I tap, I normally talk through the card. I'm feeling like I'm the horse, and I'm being pushed in the direction I don't want to go, and I'm talking my way through the card. And a lot of times I'm surprised at what I say because I'm not thinking, I'm just letting it flow.
Yeah. Allowing, let's be in a
Allowing.
state of allowance,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
really important when I feel when you start incorporating the energies of the cards into your life in a much bigger way,
Yeah.
when you're, not necessarily reading them, but you're actually becoming
Yeah.
that energy, like,
Exactly. Yeah.
yeah, and I'll use that example of the high priestess, right? Like, who doesn't want to connect? Like,
Exactly.
absolutely, right?
Yeah.
Want to connect and stay connected. But if I'm feeling disconnected, then I can pull her out and go, what is it that I haven't connected to or that is hidden? Because she has
Exactly.
that
That
scroll, right?
scroll,
That's
yeah.
partly hidden. What is it that is hiding that I need to bring into awareness for me?
Exactly.
How do I uncover that or
Yeah.
discover that, right?
Yeah.
So, and getting right into those energies of what she would feel like as
Exactly.
a being, and then just as an energy, right? Just as an energy, not necessarily um, the woman that sits on the throne or the person that sits on the throne. It's just very much what would it be like just to have that energy in my life, to embrace that energy in my life?
Exactly.
What would that mean for
Yeah.
me? And what might I be able to do
Yeah.
or use or become?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're
So
the
it's
kind of questions.
and I think we talked about this with the interviewing the deck, we talked about you interviewing your deck going back a couple of episodes. You can meditate them on as well, and like Lou's saying, pick a card a day or a card a week and meditate on it. You don't have to do it all in one go.
Yeah, no,
Don't do it all in one go
yeah,
because you'll just poof, your head will explode.
fry your mind. And we don't want to do that.
Not doing that.
No, not doing that at all. So, but you
Yeah.
can get a deeper
Yeah,
meaning. You can dive into the energies, and you can develop your own messages, right? So this is the
exactly.
beauty of doing the meditation or the
On
tapping,
the tapping.
right? Because
Yeah.
both work hand in hand, really. And one thing that's really important, I feel, after you've done this kind of
Mm.
work, is to journal the fuck out of it.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. Even if you pick a card in the morning, write it down.
Mm-hmm.
That is a form of meditation. You've picked a card, before you pick it, you're breathing, you're slowing yourself down. What is it I need to know? You pick a card. look at it again, even if it's a quick 2, 3 minute meditation, write down what you get. Because tomorrow you get the same card, it'll be a different message.
Yeah, yeah, that's fascinating. It's always
Yeah.
fascinated me. You can get this today or that tomorrow, and there
Yeah.
might be little themes that run through
Yeah,
it, but the other part of it will, something will be different in it,
exactly.
right? So
Yeah, so but definitely write it down so that, and again, Lou taught me this, it's a timing thing.
it is a
You
timing
know, if
thing.
you might have had the page last week and you get it this week, last week you felt, oh, I feel a bit antsy. Well, now you know if you get it the following week, okay, that feels like it's about a week timing.
Yeah,
Use it. So if you've written it down, you can go back and see that timing. So it's bloody involved, isn't
it
it?
is bloody involved. And yeah, this is our attempt at helping you dive deeper through meditation and tapping.
Yeah.
But yes, it is bloody involved. So
But yes, I do think the journaling side of it is an
yeah,
important side of it. You really need to,
yeah,
because it's also getting your thoughts out of here. Because
yeah.
sometimes we can get stuck up here, can't
Oh
we? Get
God, we
stuck in our
can.
head.
Or get those fucking blind spots.
Ah, yes.
Right. And see,
Yes,
doing a meditation or tapping is going to help release the blind spots as well.
exactly,
Right.
exactly. So if you can, or please incorporate this into your tarot journey.
Yeah,
Incorporate it.
just, like
Mm.
make it part of that. And if you're curious about like meditations with
Yeah,
the cards and
yes,
how do you start this, I've actually got some on my website. Like I've only done the major arcana, so there'll be like 22
yes.
meditations on there that you'll be able to access. So you can get that through the website. I
Website.
think it's in the shop, I'm not sure, but it is on my website. You will be able to get
Which
all of
is
those. Oh yeah, it'd be good if I told you what it was. So my website is www.lulufletcher.com.au. So
yes, go
in
check
there,
that out.
yeah, go check
Yeah,
it out. It's a whole lot of things, and there's other meditations on there too, but specifically the card meditations is
yes,
what you're looking for if you're choosing to dive into the cards and dive a little deeper in terms of what would it mean to be the high priestess for
yeah,
a day? What would that energy be like to be able to
yes,
carry that around? And how do I know that that's the energy I've tapped into and not the Empress?
exactly.
That's the other
See,
thing,
that's the
right?
thing.
Because
It's
they
like,
feel different,
yes, and you might think that when they come out, you might feel like they're similar, but when you go deep, they're completely different,
completely different. Yeah.
completely
So
different.
go deep, take a leap, do what the fool says, jump,
Like, yeah,
right?
take that
Jump
leap
in,
of faith.
take that leap of faith, jump into the meditation and the tapping space and
Yeah,
see how that opens up your tarot journey and your tarot experience.
'cause it will. It will, won't it?
It
It will.
absolutely will. I
Yeah,
think it'd blow your mind. And you know what? We'd love to hear about your journey.
exactly.
So let us know
Yeah.
how that goes. And you can get us at,
The email address is thetarotdealers@gmail.com. You can contact us through Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.
yes,
So let us know how you go with your meditation or your journaling, all the things. And do you get a different message, say, from the Knight of Swords than we've been talking about? You know, because it's like, because it's been here and I've been looking at it going, what is he going to discover when he goes off the card? So it's that unknown.
it is that unknown. Yeah, please let us know because we love to hear about that.
Exactly.
And if
Yeah.
that engaged you a little more in your journey, or if that kind of helped you realize that you know more than you think you know,
Exactly.
right? And you're clearer, you got more clarity around
Yeah.
something. Or maybe you've realized that you've been clear about something all along and it's time you started fucking sharing.
Exactly.
Like
Yes.
what's going on for you? We would love to know.
Yes. So remember, we are going to take a bit of a break.
Yes, we are.
So send your questions, send your subjects, just contact us, and we will put those aside for the next series.
We will. We absolutely will. And we'd love to know about your
About
journey, your
yeah,
tapping and your meditation
yeah, if you gave it a
journey.
go, yeah,
Yeah.
and what you got from your
Did you
cards.
grow? Did you learn? We want to know
I
all of
hope
these
you did.
things. We hope
So
you did for
see
sure. From our heart to yours. Big love.
you later.
Bye.